Good to see you.
How are you?
Good.
Great. Wow. So you just got here from the States.
It's great to be here.
I'm so excited. Well, you're the professional businesswoman, an instructor, and also a facilitator for 20 years. So could you tell us more about yourself, please?
Well, I came to Japan in 1990, so it has been a long time. Before that, I worked in the San Francisco Bay Area in Silicon Valley for IBM.
Good place.
Yeah, and before that, I was born and raised in Texas, so it's been a long journey to get to Japan, but it's been great to be here and to have my career here.
Wow.
Yeah, since I came to Japan in 1990, and during the time that I've been here, my focus really has been on corporate training and development. And I've done a lot of different things, like as you mentioned, as an instructor, focused primarily on business communication skills seminars. But we also do a lot of other types of programs that help organizations develop their people. And a big piece of that is creating e-learning programs. And so that's been my focus primarily for the past few years.
Okay, interesting. So I heard all the programs that you made and that you are taught are all like using flipped learning, flipped models.
Right.
So what do you think about, and could you tell us like what is a flipped model is?
Well, flipped is really interesting. This concept has really just come about in probably the past 4 or 5 years that it's really gained popularity. And I don't know if you know where it originated, but it's kind of interesting, the story behind it. A man named Sal Khan, he at the time was a student at MIT, or maybe he was already finished with his work at MIT. But anyway, he had a niece who was back in the town where he grew up in Louisiana who needed help with her homework. She was coming home from school. She had a lot of homework to do, and her parents couldn't help her. So she called up her smart uncle who was at MIT and said, help me. And so he started creating videos to help her learn how to do problems that she didn't understand how to do in class.
So smart.
And what she found, and what millions of people have found from his videos, is that it's really helpful if students can learn a topic kind of at their own pace. If they can learn it at their own pace, and then when they go into the classroom, they can get help from the teacher with actually doing the problems. So they learn the concepts at home and then come into class to do what used to be the homework.
Yeah, true.
And the reason that is effective is, one, the children don't go home from school and expect their parents to know how to do calculus, which a lot of parents or grandparents may not be able to help the kids with. And then the other thing is the teacher can really monitor the students and how they're doing, and are they getting the concepts. And then the other big kind of benefit behind flipped learning really is that the students can go at their own pace.
What is that about?
Well, like if you're watching a video, let's say it's a little 10-minute video on how to do a particular kind of geometry problem, and you're watching the video and there's some part you don't get, you can stop it and back up and watch that again.
I see.
And that's the real benefit of having. If you're in a lecture though, people are reluctant to raise their hand at the teacher and say, wait, I didn't get that. Can you explain that again? And then also, some kids get it, some kids don't.
Sure.
So everyone's different. So everybody really needs to be able to go at their own pace. So it started really with kind of that school learning, but the concept of flipped has really, really grown exponentially. And now many, many companies are using it in order to train, people from, very inexperienced new grads coming into the company all the way up to more senior level people, because it's just more effective.
Sure. Because most of the managers, they can't manage their time. Well, I mean, they're pretty busy.
Exactly. Right? That's a really good point. So, they are busy, and they a lot of times they want an answer when they have a question.
Yeah.
And they don't want an answer before they have a question. And that's the other beauty of doing a flipped type approach and having it online. People have a question in their mind, they can go online, they can find the answer, and it's just in time.
Wow, so excited! Wow. So, so do you know what will happen? I mean, for the future, about because I don't really hear about a lot of company here in Japan. They don't really use this model. Is that also happen in the States or?
Well, the States is a little bit different environment than in Japan. In the States, we really have seen e-learning be the primary way that people learn inside companies, because it's just so expensive to travel, and you know, it's not just the time, it's not just the travel time and the being away from home and all those things, but it's also time out of the office. So if companies have realized if they can minimize that, then their employees are a lot more productive. So in Japan, we still see a lot of classroom type training, but people are starting to ask, how can we make this more effective? How can we make it more practical as well? And by taking a lot of the lecture piece out and putting that in little videos online, when people come together for a classroom, they actually can do something. They can apply what they've learned. And it's so much more valuable. It really makes the classroom experience that much more valuable.
I see. All right. So, in the could you give us some your message for us, please?
Oh, my message. That's always a tough question. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll share a little bit about my philosophy, and that is that it's never too old to learn. You're never too old to learn. It's never too late. It's never too late. You know, so many times we kind of get caught up in this kind of model of, you know, well, I didn't get into the high school I wanted to get into, so I couldn't go to the college I wanted to go to, so I couldn't get in the company that I want, you know, and don't limit yourself with that kind of thinking. It's never too late to start again.
Right.
And to learn something new.
True. It's something like that I did before in China. I'm the youngest one, and all my classmates are all senior, like 70 or sometimes 50 years old, senior guys. It's you know, like I think it's more interesting in right now. Right. Yeah, now it's changing.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, people are starting new careers at age 50.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Never too late.
Never too late.
Right. So, well, thank you so much for today. And then, well, hope to see you maybe very soon, I hope, in Japan or somewhere else.
Great. Thank you so much
for today.